segment, we will identify real property interests, describe the participants in the space acquisition process, associate the participants' roles with their responsibilities, illustrate the major phases of the space acquisition process. A lease specifies the rights and obligations of the property owner and the property user, and legally divides the bundle of rights into two interest types. The owner's group of rights and obligations is called the lease fee interest. The owner is entitled to receive rental payments and retains the right to repossess the space when the lease ends. Without consideration of leases, the owner's interest is called fee simple interest. The tenant's group of rights and obligations includes the right to occupy and use the space. The present value of the outstanding lease obligation results in the leasehold interest. Further, additional value is created if the contract rent is less than the current market rent for similar space elsewhere. Market rent minus contract rent equals leasehold value. Many participants are involved in the space acquisition process, and all of them ultimately support either the tenant's or the landlord's interest when creating a lease. In a sense, a lease is like a marriage contract with a prenuptial agreement. The lease establishes what will hopefully be a mutually satisfying long-term relationship, but it also spells out in detail what the responsibilities of each party will be in the event of any number of instances, including what will occur if either party defaults. The number of participants in the space acquisition wedding party and their roles depends on the size and scale of the transaction, but in general the following participants will always be involved. Move your mouse over the buttons below for a description of each participant. Drag and drop each participant in the space acquisition process to their respective responsibilities and click Submit. Each lease negotiation has its own characteristics, depending on the property type and properties involved, but the overall process can be generally divided into phases. Some of these phases occur one after the other. Some are not linear, and some overlap. Let's follow a typical space negotiation process through its major steps. Click each step in order to learn more about it. Drag and drop the steps of the space acquisition process in the correct sequence, then click Submit. You've just seen the roles and the steps involved in the space acquisition process, and practiced attaching these roles to their specific responsibilities. In the next segment of the course, you will perform a learning activity on the subject of lease clauses.